Keys unlock things, right? If you're a coach, you want to know how to unlock client resistance so your clients achieve the changes they came to you for, right? In coaching, there are 7 keys that open the door to new possibilities for your clients. Today, I'm sharing the first of these. Sonal was newly qualified as a life coach. She knew a whole range of techniques that she could use with her clients, but she was worried she wouldn't be able to help her clients and was unsure which techniques to use at which point. In other words, she didn't really know how to actually work with a real person. After working with me, she was able to confidently support her clients to make the changes they wanted. Maybe you feel the same as Sonal did. It's one thing to learn the theory of coaching, but another thing entirely to know how to apply it with a person sitting in front of you, a real live human being. Sonal was incredibly nervous when she met her first client. She felt she had to keep glancing at her notes to make sure she was saying the right thing. Sonal had a nervous tic that caused her to fiddle with her pen when she felt anxious. You know what I mean, that irritating click, 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 click. She didn't even know she was doing it. And she kept moving in her chair. She was fidgeting, trying to find that comfortable position. Because she was so nervous, Sonal spoke fast, and as a result, sometimes tripped over her words. Can you imagine what it would be like as a client to sit across from somebody that you've approached and paid money to help you, and they're very obviously nervous and anxious? I'm betting it would make you feel jumpy and uneasy. I know that's how I would feel. Would you feel comfortable in such a situation to talk with somebody like that, to share your deepest fears? I'm guessing not. And this is what was happening with Sonal's clients. Because the climate of the session felt uncomfortable, her clients were reluctant to go beyond the surface issue. And so real change wasn't happening. Now, psychology tells us, in fact, it was Freud who discovered that our deepest fears are held in our unconscious minds, so that we are often unaware of their existence, and yet they have a massive impact on our thoughts, the thoughts that we experience each day, and how we behave. But we don't know why we're doing what we're doing. So to be effective in coaching or counselling, we need our clients to feel safe so that they are willing and comfortable to look beyond the surface events to reveal what might be going on in their psyche a little bit deeper down that's holding them back. Take a client, for example, who comes to you with relationship problems. They complain that they can't find a decent partner. All the relationships they've had end after a few weeks. In fact, the longest relationship they've had was only 6 weeks. They believe the problem is the people that they are meeting are just the wrong people. And they've come to you wanting help to find the one. The reality is that this person may inadvertently be pushing those partners away. And unless they feel safe and secure enough to explore their own behaviours around their partners, to dig a little deeper, to look into their psyche, they may never realise that it was the fact their parents divorced when they were young, when they were only 7, and they feel people can't be trusted. And it was those insecurities that were causing them to become belligerent with their partners, finding fault with everything that they do, complaining about the slightest thing after just a few weeks into the relationship, and that initial gloss of the new relationship had worn off. And it was that constant fault finding that was, in fact, pushing their partners away. So the very first thing we worked on with Sonal was how she could create a calm, welcoming space that felt safe for both her and her clients, so that the clients would be willing to peel back the surface and dig a little deeper. The fact is, people see coaches or other help professionals because something is not working in their lives, That's a pretty obvious statement, hey? To resolve issues and move forward often requires them talking about things that are difficult to say. And if the helper is showing their nerves and seems uneasy, it's going to make the help seeker feel unsettled and very reluctant to share their deepest thoughts and darkest fears. It's going to be difficult for you to help your clients make changes if your clients are unable or unwilling to open up about what the problem really is, to look deeper. So to prevent this block from occurring, you need to create a safe space, a sense of safety and peace for your clients when they come to see you. So how can you do this? To create a space that feels safe, you need to first calm yourself. And one way to do this is to develop a client preparation routine that maybe includes some deep breathing exercises to help center and focus your mind on your client and their world. If at any time you feel anxiety rising during a session, then you could use a simple grounding exercise to bring you back to the present moment so you can focus on what your client is saying and experiencing. And a simple technique you can use to do this is to rub the palms of your hands together, slowly moving one hand across the other. Start with your fingertips touching and then slowly move the tips of those fingers of one hand down the fingers and across the palm of your other hand. Let's do this together now. Ready? Put your hands together as if you're praying, if that's what you do. Touch your fingers, touch palm to palm, and then slowly move the tips of your fingers down your fingers and across your palm. Feels good. Then reverse and keep doing that, keeping the focus on the tips of your fingers because that's where all the nerve endings are. This is such a simple, unobtrusive exercise. You can easily do it in session whenever you feel anxiety beginning to take hold. Combine this with a deep, settling breath and you'll be able to stay calm and with your client. Some other things that you can do to make sure the space in your therapy room feels safe for your client is to make sure that the space is neutral. For instance, make sure there are no photos of your family or partner. Imagine if you're a grief counsellor working with parents who've lost a child and they come into your therapy room and you've got pictures of your children smiling and laughing sitting on your desk. What impact do you think that would have for your client? So take a look around your room and remove any objects or pictures that could potentially be upsetting for your clients. Keep the space as clean, clear and neutral as you possibly can. Use neutral colours for the walls and floor. Make sure the chairs are comfortable and well spaced. You don't want to be sat right on top of your clients, but you want to be close enough that they feel you are there with them, interested in what they have to say. If you have art on the walls, take a look at it. Take a look at it through a new lens. See it through your client's eyes. What message might you inadvertently be sending? Generally speaking, pictures of nature and animals work best because these are inherently calming. If it's possible to have water present, maybe a gentle fountain outside the window so that the sound of water trickling gently over stones can be heard from within your therapy room, that can be incredibly soothing. If not, maybe consider pictures of water on the walls. Make sure that the environment in your therapy room is comfortable, not too hot, but not too cold either. You don't want your clients sitting there shivering, just waiting and can't wait to get out. Ideally, you want your room to be noise-free as well. Now, it might not always be possible to stop external noise if your practice is on a busy road, for example, but consider playing soft music in the background to mask any unhelpful external noises. And it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, you need to make sure that your space is private and that conversations cannot be overheard by others walking past. And this applies whether you are seeing clients face to face, in person, or whether you're working with them over the internet, over Zoom or some other form of electronic conferencing. You don't want other people to be able to hear the conversation because you'll be breaching confidentiality. So now you've created a safe space for your clients to share their story, but how can you make sure that what your client shares is honest and reveals the real issue? For this, watch this video next to reveal the key to client openness.